G'day guys, my name is Paul Maric. I'm an Australian dude, a motoring journalist. I've decided to do a daily video blog, so released 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. And it's about my job as a motoring journalist. What is that? Motoring journalist is someone that writes about new cars, reports on the latest car news, and travels the world to drive all the latest cars. And I thought it'd be interesting to give you guys an insight into my world and this job, which is literally my dream job. So a little bit about myself. I'm a car nut, been a car nut for ages. I have a mechanical engineering degree, so I went through uni for that. And I work for a site called caradvice.com, best car website on the internet, I reckon. Been writing about cars for the past 10 years or so, and really love the job and everything about it. So I'm hoping you enjoy these videos. It gives you an insight into my world. If you have any questions throughout this whole thing, I just want you to leave them in the comments below. Send me an email, go to my website, paulmaric.com, and just send through anything that you've got. Now, being an Australian, you would think that right now it's summer, I should be sweating. Well, I'm not, and that's because I'm here in Detroit, Michigan, in the United States, and it is freezing here, about 10 below zero. There is ice in the river there, and we are standing in front of that place. It is the General Motors headquarters, the Renaissance Center. It's where we're staying, just near the motor show, the Detroit Motor Show, which we're here to cover. Basically, what these videos will show you is my daily life in this job. I want to show you what it's all about, and let's kick things off. All right, it is day one of the Detroit Motor Show. It looks absolutely freezing out there. It's time to saddle up and hit the road to see what the show is all about. So we've arrived at the Cobo Center, which is where the motor show is held. It's only a short monorail ride from our hotel, which is cool. Now, the format of today is pretty straightforward. Each manufacturer is given a time for their reveal, and basically at that reveal they'll have everyone standing by watching, and they'll reveal their latest car or whatever it is that they're doing. So we're hosted here this year by General Motors, so they have their first reveal at the Chev stand. It's nothing new, nothing that's really relevant to Australia, but I'll take you inside so you can see what it looks like in there. Typically a day like today is extremely busy for us because basically we're covering all of the news. So we have people on the ground in there looking at each of the cars that are being revealed, and then we'll go back and write up any stories. And then we have a team back in Australia that is doing stuff that's in press releases and a little easier to get through. So us on the ground here, we're doing social media and basically door stopping the executives. So as soon as they're done with their presentations, we'll go up and start asking them questions. And if they're not prepared, we'll get our exclusives that way. If they are, they'll just tell you no comment or just feed you some story about how great the company's doing, and it's almost entirely irrelevant. So let's head inside and have a quick look at what it's like. So for us at the show, the day normally kicks off at about 6 a.m. and first presentation 7:30. And during the first 2 days, it's media only, so that's why it's fairly quiet around here. And then it opens up to the public. So during these events, we'll be at stands where they reveal product, and like I mentioned earlier, we're doing door stopping with executives just to try and get comment. But generally, the host of the motor show, whoever's got you there, will organise interviews with high-level executives that you may not normally have access to. So, for example, we've got to sit down with the head engineer and one of the designers for the Equinox, which is an SUV we will be getting in Australia. And we also got to sit down with Stefan Jacobi, who's basically one of the head honchos at GM and responsible for the Asia Pacific region where we're located. So these are people with a lot of product knowledge, and generally we'll ask them questions to try and get useful stories out of them that we publish on the site. So one of the things you may not see in the background is the media centre. We'll just come through here now. This is basically where the media goes to stay hydrated. They'll be serving lunch here later on today as well. There's a whole bunch of seating, but the most impressive part is actually the media room itself. At the European motor shows, it's often quite small, and you can never get a seat in there. Definitely no risk of that here. Have a look at this. It is gigantic. So basically that's where the media sits. They've got high-speed internet access, which here is actually really good. Gives you speeds of up to like 60, 70 megabits per second, which is pretty awesome. All over wireless. There's printing facilities. You can even mail stuff back if you've got a whole bunch of press releases or hard copy of materials. So it gives you all of the things that you need to get the job done, and that's where the guys will spend most of the day slogging away. For the rest of us who are hosted by car companies, they'll generally have an allocated space on the stand where we can get food and drink and also work with internet access as well. Okay, so it has well and truly kicked off here, and one of the things we do to be a little bit different to everyone is bring our listeners and readers the best coverage that we can of these motor shows. And we're doing a podcast. We're here with the rest of the gang. Mike, say hello.
Hello.
Matt and Mike.
Hello.
So basically we'll sit here and go through the latest at the Detroit Motor Show and record it all into the computer and through all of our kit so that everyone back home can catch it. And of course, if you ever want to tune into it, you can just catch it on iTunes as well. All right, so that is the end of day one of the Detroit Motor Show. I am officially effing wrecked. Woke up at like 5 a.m. It's now about 6 p.m. and it has been go, go, go all day. Now is the time when we basically sit down and start going through all of our recordings and interviews from today, and also notes as well, and start assembling stories based on preference, like as in how important they are. So throughout the day, I've put a few stories out, but you know, now you go through the rest of them and then sort of go through. So I'll show you what that looks like. This is just one of the stories that we published today. So basically tonight we've got another dinner with the GM people. So you get your executives there and stuff like that. It just gives you another chance to interview them and potentially have a few drinks to relax. And over the next few days, we're doing some interesting stuff. So tomorrow, going to some GM place for research and development. We're going to have a look at battery technology and some of the future GM product, which should be good. And then after that, we're going south. We're flying to Nashville, Tennessee. Now, basically, we're driving two cars there. So the updated tracks, it's a visual update. The interior's been updated. The engine's pretty much the same. We're also going to be driving the Chevy Cruze sedan. Now, the Chevy Cruze sedan is coming to Australia, but it's going to be called the Holden Astra sedan. I don't know, they're trying to group this stuff together. It's part of their rationale. So anyway, we'll be driving those two cars and then seeing what they're all about. Hopefully today's given you a cool look behind the scenes of a motor show and how everything works. We take it for granted because we do it all the time, but it is a hard slog. Like, we are not resting. Haven't even eaten today. I'm absolutely starving. I've actually just ordered some room service. Chicken soup, just to get me through till dinner. If you've got any feedback, sorry if this first one's shit, sorry if they're all shit, but just please let me know. You can email me, leave stuff in the comments below, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. You can contact me on social media. So I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/Paul Maric, on Instagram as well with Paul Maric there too. Keen to get your feedback and your thoughts, and hopefully you tune in again to continue this look at my world, doing my dream job. So until next time, take it easy.